Hello everybody, welcome back. Jordan here. Today we're going to be answering some questions in which were submitted in the comments section of Ask Bricksie episode 6. And today we are completing Ask Bricksie episode 7. So welcome back. If you want your questions to be answered in the next episode, make sure you throw them in the comment section below. So we're actually going to be answering 4 different questions that came from 4 different people, but they're all involving the same topic. The first question is from Shadow. He says, how often do you clean your Lego from dust, etc.? And if the answer is yes, how much time does it take to clean them all? And how do you clean them? Second question also relates to cleaning Lego and sort of tackling the dust. It's from Alice P. How often do you dust or clean your Lego? Now these next 2 questions both have to do with cleaning Lego, but they sort of have another entity to the question, so I figured why not throw them into the same block. Gabby asks, also, how do you keep your Lego clean from dust, and how do you work on the center of your Lego city? And also Jack Gorey, the gentleman who recently sent fan mail with the Technic Dom style charger. Thank you so much. Awesome set. I loved it. Asks, do you have a particular Lego part that you find to be cursed? No, I do not. I do not have a cursed brick. I do not think so. He also asked, besides the brick separator, what is your favorite tool to use to build your city, if any? Mine is the metal nail cleaner, which with a small hook, it can help me separate the tiles away from the base plate. Sounds like a nice handy tool that I would actually like to use, because sometimes the brick separators just don't last as long as they should or don't do as good a job as they should, and I've definitely seen people use metal things to separate bricks. What is my favorite tool besides the brick separator? I'm going to show you that right now, and it actually has to do with cleaning Lego. There's actually a few different ones. The one that I most commonly use is the Swiffer guy right here. Sometimes you can attach it to a long Swiffer pole and you can reach the hard areas to reach. Or you can also use these makeup brushes right here. I've also heard that paint brushes work really good as well. In regards to cleaning Lego and how long it takes me to dust all my Lego, the answer is that I don't dust it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't dust all of it at once. What I do is when I'm making big Lego City changes, such as accessing the center of the Lego City, which actually we're going to answer that question right now as well. We have a modular table in which we break apart and we pull away. We just have to disconnect the train track on either side, disconnect the train track underneath, and then we can pull a modular table away so I can reach the center of the city. But when I'm making changes like that to the Lego City, that's when I dust my Lego. And when I'm moving things from shelves to shelves, that's when I dust my Lego. I don't specifically set time aside to specifically dust my Lego, but when I'm moving Lego, which actually happens quite frequently in the city or amongst the shelves, that's when I dust. And I use those tools that I just showed you there to do that. However, there is a lot more ways to clean Lego and also remove the dust and also manage the dust here in the Lego room. It honestly deserves its own video. So thank you so much for the video idea. I will be making a new updated version on how I clean my Lego and also how I manage the dust within the Lego room. So make sure you stay tuned for that video, as I plan on probably producing that and releasing that within probably the next 2 weeks. So thank you so much for the great idea. But yeah, we use a modular table. I love the cleaning dust tools, are my best friend when it comes to cleaning the Lego City and also working on the Lego City. And I just dust up when I see that it is dusty when I'm working in the Lego room, and I'm working down here every day. So I'm typically dusting small entities of it on a daily basis. The next question is from Fun with D. Lee. Thank you so much for the question, man. He's essentially asking me when or if I'm going to add a construction site to the city. The truth and the reality is the Lego City is at the point in which it doesn't need a construction site. I always use construction sites in the past. We have had them in the past. I'll throw a couple photos up of them right now. I always use them as essentially quick and easy ways to fill open base plates in the city with cool construction stuff. I used to have the tower crane and I used that and I used to love that set, and I still do love that set, but I just eventually ran out of room to make a construction site just because I think there's better things that you can fill space with besides a construction site. But as you saw there, I used to have some pretty cool construction sites that actually changed over time and moved around and sort of was different every time, and I actually do find them pretty fun to build. Now, Jack here asked me a question. He says, what is your favorite movie, and do you have anything in the city that resembles your favorite movie, essentially? Well, my favorite movie is The Empire Strikes Back or The Winter Soldier. I guess we do have Pop Culture Street. There's not really any Star Wars stuff in the city right now. Will there ever be a Star Wars stuff in the city? I don't really know. There's nothing really that represents The Empire Strikes Back in the city, unfortunately. However, there is some stuff that represents Marvel, such as the Avengers Tower and stuff like that, which, I don't know, I guess it doesn't really specifically represent the Winter Soldier. However, I guess it's close enough. So, to answer your question, yes and no. The next question is from Bricklord. He said, would you ever open your Lego collection up for people to come see? I've ran through multiple different scenarios in which I could make that happen. I would never do that out of my household. So in the current layout and the current way that we're operating the Bricksie YouTube channel, the answer to that question is no. Does that mean it will never happen in the future? No, it might happen in the future, but I've always thought about opening a public studio. I actually have a business plan for it. It'd be called Bricksie Studios. And it would be a lot more than just a public viewing of this place. I don't really want to share all the details of it because it's actually pretty cool. But the problem is that means I'm going to have to go off-site to essentially manage and run this business that's not in my basement. It's at an off-site location, and I'm going to have to be there from open to close, and also it's going to sort of strap me in there for holidays and stuff like that. So it'd be a lot of work. It would take a lot of manpower, and it would be very demanding time-wise. So do I ever plan on opening a public studio? I would love to, but I just don't think it's capable, or I'm capable of doing it at this particular moment in time. However, I do have big dreams and hopes that one day maybe it will happen. So once again, I hate to sort of deflect it with a sort of yes, no answer. My dream is to do that one day, but do I think it's achievable? I do, but is it going to be sustainable? Maybe not. Potter Brick Productions asks, will you ever do a Lego Harry Potter display, or have you ever considered it? I've definitely considered it. Recently we built this little guy right here, which is actually still on my little side table. This is Privet Drive. And I have considered modularizing that and also adding that to the Lego City. Also, we have the Burrow. That's the Weasley's house. I do plan on hopefully one day building that, modularizing that, and adding a little wizarding area in the Lego City. Will it go above and beyond that? Will there be a Hogwarts and stuff like that? Probably not, but I might modularize those two buildings and integrate them into the residential area in the Lego City. Peter asked, what does my family think of me quitting my job to go with Lego full time? They're very supportive of it. My family has always lived by a line. They say, if you're going to be a ditch digger, be the best ditch digger, or just do something that you're passionate about. So I think they're happy with me fulfilling or following my dreams, I guess. If you want to be a Lego YouTuber, then go ahead and be a Lego YouTuber. Just make sure that it's sustainable and make sure that you are okay and that you are stable in your job. As long as I'm working hard, I think my parents and my family are happy with me. But that is the key thing. I mean, if I was just, being lazy and making one video a week and I wasn't able to sustain my life and I was required to lean on government funding or lean on them for funding or whatever, then I think they'd be pretty upset with it. But the fact that I am able to sustain my life and I'm doing what I love to do and I'm very passionate about it, I think they are very happy to see me sort of following my dreams of becoming a Lego YouTuber. So short and sweet, yes, they are. They are supportive of me doing this because they know it makes me happy, and they also know that I'm doing it to the best of my ability and that I'm trying very hard to be successful and remain being a Lego YouTuber. So yes, they are very supportive of the situation. Mahalo asks, how do I get inspiration for all the videos that I release every day? Well, I'll tell you what, it's tough. That's actually the hardest part about being a full-time YouTuber, is coming up with the ideas and concepts of making videos each and every single day. So thank you guys for your questions, because this helps me answer your questions like this one here and actually gives us some content. But how do I get the inspiration for it? Well, I love Lego. And I love everything about Lego. And Lego does a great job of releasing so many different Lego sets in which we can make content on. And also my Lego City is always evolving and changing. And I just sort of reinvent the wheel with that, I guess. Whether it be new Lego sets or changing the Lego City or doing a vlog or answering your questions or going shopping. How do I get inspiration for it? I don't know. It just sort of appears. I honestly don't even know how it happens. It just sort of makes its way into my brain, and I just sort of plan out what I'm doing. But I will say recently I've become a lot more structured in the way I do things and the way I come up with ideas, and I have been tracking those on a daily, or not a daily, but like a Google Sheet where we have all of our different ideas laid out. So how do I gain inspiration for it? Really just a lot of strategic planning and coming up with the videos far in advance. The farther ahead we can get, the better we are off, because I would hate to be left in a lurch scrambling for ideas for the next video. Grandpa Smokes asks if we've ever considered adding Jurassic Park segment to the Lego City, and B, what is my most missed theme? Have I ever thought about adding Jurassic World to the Lego City or Jurassic Park? I would love to. I just don't have the space to do it. And I just can't handle the PPP. Yeah, PPP. Price per piece on the Jurassic World sets that come with all those really cool dinosaurs. I realize why they're more money. It's because of the really cool dinosaurs. But I just have no dinosaurs in my collection. Would I like to do that? Yes, I would. But I feel like it would require a lot of space, a lot of resources, a lot of time, and it would require me to essentially change my entire layout, unless, of course, we did a little scene in one of the PAX shelves, which would allow us to do sort of like a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park scene in a PAX shelf. And what theme do I miss most? Well, Castle. Castle was around when I was a kid. I never really got into it because I got into Lego in 2015 and Castle wasn't around then. So I miss Castle the most. Do I think Lego's going to give Castle or give it back to us? I absolutely do think so. So I think that my most theme is actually going to come back and be readily available. As we recently got the 3-in-1 Castle, and do I think they're going to come back with the actual Lego theme? I definitely hope so. And I think I think it would be wise for you guys to do that, absolutely. Dog, I'm going to answer your question here just straight out. Yes. He says, there is a rumor of another Ninjago City lineup modular set coming out next year. If this is true, would you get it? Yes, I love the Lego Ninjago City, also the docks and the Ninjago City Gardens. I love all three of those sets. They are like modular buildings, like really powerful, really strong on steroids. I don't know why I call them that, but they're just so much detail and they're so intricate. And they're some of my favorite sets to build because I just love system building like that with like lots of detail. So if they release another one, yes, absolutely, I will be getting it. Dean Gamus is looking for some tips on how to sort Lego. Well, I've actually made a video on that. You'll see that popping up on the screen right here. But short and sweet, best way to sort Lego is by part type and also by color. Tayab asks if I've ever done any stop motion or if I plan on doing stop motion on this channel. I have done a little bit of stop motion with my old intros. I'll play some of those for you now. Essentially, the Bricksie sort of just builds itself, which is pretty cool. Also, when my name is Jord Bricks, I had one as well, so there's this one as well. And yeah, that was the most I ever did with stop motion. It's a huge learning curve, and I think I would have an idea of how to do it now that I'm a little more educated in how to take photos and how to make videos and stuff like that. However, I know social media guy, the guy that helps me with all my social media, has expressed an interest in helping me doing stop motion, so I could potentially be doing that in the future. Just don't know. I guess time will tell in regards to that. I think it'd be a big challenge. I think it would take a lot of not a lot of resources, but a lot of knowledge and a lot of patience, in which I do not think I have to make stop motion photos or stop motion videos. Oh yeah, that's right. I actually did the stop motion style builds, like sort of like Darth Vader's castle builds itself, and also I did that with the T-Rex Rampage as well. It sort of built itself, and that's sort of a stop motion in its own as well. Francisco asks if I'm going to build a subway train station on the train layout. I'm never going to build a subway for the Lego City, I don't think. However, the new layout underneath the Lego City will have trains going around for sure. But I don't think I'm ever going to actually have a proper Lego subway for my Lego City. I just don't think I have the means of doing that with the current table layout, if you will. The last question is from Amy. Amy asks, what happens when you filled up the Lego City and you have no more space? Will you be happy with it and leave it, or find a way to change it? Is there ever an end to it? Is there an ever end to Lego? That I don't know. I'm going to answer that question first. I don't know if Lego is going to continue producing sets at the rate in which they are producing, and if there will always be a demand for it. They are producing a lot, and it is very, very, very hard to keep up. Does that ever mean that I'll ever be done with the Lego City? No, me personally, I'll always be into Lego, and I think a lot of Lego fans can stand for that and sort of vouch for that. Will I be able to continue at this pace? I think eventually this room will hit the capacity, but there's still lots of room for growth. In regards to the Lego City, it is filling up pretty quickly. I might have to make some changes, like by expanding underneath the Lego tables to expand different themes underneath. I think that's a huge solution for us, and we still have the whole other half of the Lego room, and also we're still working on filling this half over here as well, which is sort of by my desk here, where all the trains and the castles and stuff are. So I think in order to be a Lego, or if you're a Lego creator that wants an ever-growing collection, you just have to be very creative in the way that you display your Lego sets, and also be very creative in the way that you make space for a copious amount of Lego sets which are coming out. And there's actually a lot of space in this room that we can still make. When that space gets full, I guess I'll be forced to probably cycle out some of the stuff out of my collection, or maybe I'll have some kids up there and I'll be like, hey kids, you want a couple Billy shelves in your room? And I'll start putting my Lego sets in their room. Or I'll have to do what I did in the past, the Lego recycling program, where essentially you sell sets that you've already built and had your fun with, and they're not, you know, the most popular sets in your mind. So what you do is you sell them on Bricklink, and you use the funds from those sets to buy new Lego sets. So that's ultimately what I'll do. And will it ever stop? I don't think I'll ever stop being a Lego YouTuber, or I'll ever stop collecting Lego. I think it's a passion of mine, and it's a way that I fill my mind and sort of keep myself busy at all times. And I love Lego, and I love the product, and I've loved it for 6 years now, and my passion for it hasn't gone away. So will it go away in 20 years? It's hard to say. I don't think so. I hope to raise some kids that are very much into it and can eventually help me out with it. And I really don't know what the future will hold from there. Maybe we'll have a bigger Lego room in 5 years. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. And ultimately, I'm just going to continue being creative with my Lego City, my Lego displays, and try to pack as much Lego in here as possible and use the space that we have. And when it fills up, I might have to sell some sets, or just find new creative ways to explore new frontiers in the Lego world. So there's our questions answered from last week here on Ask Bricksie episode 7. If you have any questions for me, once again, throw them down in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them in episode 8. Thank you guys so much for your questions and continued viewership. I highly appreciate it. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and peace out.